green. Oh, but Koa holds it around the outside, and he gets a way better exit.
Take it.
Pushing hard, already 3 wide into turn 1.
A little bit, and a group of Astons just piling up on him, trying to hold everybody off. Push him wide a little bit. Oh, but you can't make it stick.
Boonstra is able to hold the inside.
Got a little overlap, but he can't do it.
Ooh, and he just caught it.
Mr. Sir and King are banging doors.
Oh, shoot. And we're off and away for SRA.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, for the final race of the season here for Division 3, Round 8 at a Silverstone track. It's going to be a wet one tonight. I am joined in the booth by Nate Bright.
Hey, Austin. Pleasure being here. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, no problem. And then our other commentator tonight is John Donahue.
Hello. First time we got a full booth since week 5.
Hey, nice to have both of you in the booth. Helps me out a lot with filling airtime because I am not good at words.
That's
we
not
talk
true.
a lot.
But what are you guys thinking for tonight? Because it is going to be a wet race, and for the first time, I believe in SRA, it's going to be a full dark race.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I can only speak from my experience here, but qualifying was one thing. Being able to see the corners, seeing the lines. I didn't lay down too terrible of a time because there was some semblance of vision. But as soon as that race starts, I mean, all bets are off. So, literally, I think it's going to be people who have this track down to muscle memory are going to have an advantage here. But perhaps that's any other race.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Sometimes, especially with the spray, you're kind of relying on the car in front to hit the marks that you are looking for. So, you're just kind of relying on other people sometimes. What about you, John?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with what Austin was saying. It gets really special on your own in the actual race instead of qualifying here, at least based on yesterday. A lot easier to spin than you would think.
Yes.
We might see a couple people go off. I know we saw a couple drive-throughs because of track limits yesterday, so I'm expecting there may be 1, maybe 2 drivers that get unlucky, cutting the track, trying to get as much lap time as they can and just get a drive-through.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Speaking of the track and everything, let's go through the track map as these drivers are starting to get ready for qualifying here. We are, like I said, at the wonderful Silverstone track, Northamptonshire, England. It is. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. I'll probably butcher it and get yelled at in chat for it. I'll take it though. The length is 5.891 kilometers or 3.661 miles, 18 turns. Very historic track. It's grown from the time that it was created to what we see now. Also has many uses. Most commonly you see it as F1. But something unique about this track is the GT3 cars actually start at the old pit entrance versus F1, which has the brand new pit entrance and section. So
opposite sides of the track.
Yes. So in fact, Cops is actually turn number 1 for GT3, and then you're immediately into Meggetts and Beckett's. So into a very fun part of the track. Then you have that long hanger straight into Stowe, and then now you're into that iconic F1 area of Vale, Club, and then the Hamilton Straight, newly named Hamilton Straight as of recent years go by, and then into names are escaping me now. Abbey into Farm, Village, Loop, Aimtree, and then probably one of the more famous corners on this track, along with Meggetts Beckett's, is Brooklands and Lovefield. So I see a lot of action happening there. What about you guys? Were you seeing a lot of drivers making their moves and taking risks tonight?
Well, I know from experience last night that turn 1, if you can get a really great line and cut it on the inside, you can usually get the person on the exit going to Maggots and Beckett's, and then it's really nice and easy when you're coming into the hairpin off the or the right-hander off the Hamilton straight as well.
I got full course yellows, so I will be right back from my standpoint. But what about you, Nate? Where are you seeing drivers making a lot of their moves tonight?
Yeah, honestly, I think John hit the nail on the head there. We're coming from a few tracks where there weren't a whole lot of passing opportunities, so it's going to be an interesting show of force as the track kind of widens up, opens up for people who are kind of prone to that sort of activity. But at the same time, you're not going to be able to see anything. You're going to have, and the times that you can see stuff, let's say you're on somebody's tailpipes, you're going to have spray in your face. And it's going to be tough. I don't know if there's one area that I could say for certain would be like, oh yeah, that's the clear-cut place you want to pass right there. I'm with John though. I think that from those two areas, I think that's probably our best chances of seeing overtakes happen.
I'm on the board of Stowe and Club/Vale being some of the high opportunities, just because it's a long straight and then it's who's braver on the brakes kind of thing. So we'll see what happens tonight from a lot of these drivers, and we see Sam Smith here, who is our first silver driver to cross the start-finish line for qualifying. Nate, you want to walk us through the different splits that we're seeing here of the silver versus the white name tags?
Yeah, so Smith right now with the silver. So he's silver in what we can see on the grid right here. Smith and Lee as a matter of fact with the silver splits. So they're going to be your D3 silver drivers, and then you got Speed and Anastasi with the white nameplates. So those are going to be and they're in 5 and 6 respectively. Those are going to be your D3 gold drivers. So basically, rule of thumb is if you see a white nameplate, that's a gold split in D3, and if you see a silver nameplate, then that's going to be a silver split. Now, you may notice that you see silver split nameplates at the top of the list right now. That's because the silver split goes out for qualifying first, providing a bit of an inherent advantage to the gold split drivers, and that the track gets a little bit more rubbered, a little bit more worn. Perhaps some of the water gets evacuated from the track by the time the gold split drivers go out there. Provides just a little bit of extra incentive to kind of, as if you didn't need any more of the bragging rights, to have a tangible benefit to qualifying second, as it were.
Yep. That's well put, and we are starting to see a lot of these drivers making some huge improvements. Johnny Air and Lee being some of the biggest gainers after setting their banker time. I'm seeing.
Oh yeah, and I'm already
seconds.
on board with John Air right now. So he's coming through back part of the track right now. Into
he's going to be
names
going
before the straight, and I told you names are not going to be going through my head today. It will just be what. But yeah, we don't seem to have that many silver drivers here today. I just noticed that as I was scrolling through our standings, as Lee right now is posting an abs flyer 3-second gain right now on his last time.
He's about to cross the line.
We've only got 10, 11, 12 silver drivers today.
Am I seeing this right? Holmes and Smith both put down
the same time?
Exact same lap time?
Yeah.
You have got to be kidding me.
I did notice that too. I was going to call attention to it, and then Sweeney and Whitting Jr. both set faster times. So, and I believe Holmes just set another faster time, so that breaks the tie
he did
now.
break out of that. wow. But just the fact that they got it down to the thousandth of a second. I mean, what are the odds of that? What are the odds?
If you are in the same division, I would say it's pretty high. Same with the being in the same split. You have a good chance of doing it just because, like I said, you are of that similar pace level. So definitely seems possible.
I'm going to switch and be on
know.
board with Petrovic's now, who's also doing relatively well, up about a half a second.
I'm on board with Air as he's going through. He's also up half a second after having an enormous gain on his second lap. I believe Air gained about 2 seconds after his banker and is now on the F1 start straight before going into Abbey Farm Village area. So we'll see how that Porsche is going to handle through there. Should do very well, especially in the rain. So I see a lot of these cars that do well with cornering. Gonna have a fun time in a couple of these sections, but that long straight might not be fun for the Porsche if they have a faster car behind them. But since it is raining, you typically go for a higher downforce setup. So we'll see what happens.
I will say that the rain becomes the great equalizer for that, because all those cars that are really, really fast usually have a lot of trouble getting the power to go actually onto the pavement instead of trying to spin them off the track. So I was seeing yesterday that some of the 911s were a lot faster than the Astons just because they could actually get the power down.
Yeah, and I definitely agree. Just because, you know, having that slower torque and horsepower to the wheels will allow you to gain grip a little bit faster than, you know, like say like the Audi, which is around 500 horsepower with a V10, which is instant. So you're spinning your wheels, and so it's a little bit more beneficial for those cars that may be a little slower on it. But then also, like I was saying too, that having to run a little bit higher downforce in the rain does help out with the Porsche, since it already runs such a higher downforce setup than most cars because it's so good in the corners.
It definitely does. Really quick, because we're coming towards the end of the silver. We've already passed the 10-minute mark, so now the gold drivers are going to be able to start coming out. But we're still got a couple of silver drivers on track right now. The most one I want to draw attention to is this man right here, Whiting Jr., who's up over 4/10, and all he needs is 0.39 to take pole position from Sweeney.
Over 5/10 now. Holy smokes!
Hey,
don't jinx it. Hey.
Yeah, I'm not gonna join on board. I don't want to give him the commentaries curse. I know.
We're also watching Smith, who's up 8/10. Lee is up 2/10, 4/10. Flores is up 3/10. Looks as if Maxwell, Schmitzer are done. Petrovic's still got another lap. He's doing good.
By the way, Fazley in chat dropping some ACC knowledge to us, saying that ACC's timing goes down to the what is that, 2000s? I don't know what's after the thousands. Probably is in millions. I don't go that deep in timing. So, you know, I did not know that.
How could you not? Gosh, man, come on.
You know, as much fun as I poke at my schooling saying I went to engineering school, I did not go to engineering school.
And Lee just put it up into second by 0.005 that last lap. So Whiting Jr. now coming around. Actually, I can't tell where we are right now because of this view, so I'll let you be. Oh, he put it in the pole.
There he goes with a 210, 225.
Yeah, he would just
Which, by the way, puts him ahead by 0.060. Yeah. So the top 3 for silver division are separated by 0.065. That's it. Not even a tenth.
Yeah.
Well, Petrovic's being our last silver driver moves up a couple spots there, going about 2 2/10 faster, I believe.
Looks like it. And he's up into 10th for silver. So our top 5 for silver is going to be Whiting Jr. in first, Sweeney taking P2, Lee in P3, Smith P4, and then Holmes running out the top 5 in P5.
Well, I'm on board with Fickert on the outside cam, while Donahue is in the pip in the interior cam, it looks like. So we'll get.
I was with someone else, but I'll be one with Fickert for you.
You can kind of just see how fast some of these corners are on the interior. That Meggett's and Beckett's being so fast, and then in the wet, it's a very commit heavy corner. Just because you have to just throw the car in there, and the exterior camera does not do it justice. I know when I was racing, I was struggling with that corner just because, like I said, you just got to commit and throw it in there.
Oh yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Also, Fazly dropping some more knowledge in the chat for you, Austin. Oh, this Fickert gets a little squirrely.
Oh my gosh, oh no.
I'll let you read that because I'm not an engineer.
Well, you're gonna have to talk through qualifying at the moment because I also just had another issue with my server connection.
Oh, lovely. All right. Well, we're gonna stay on board with Fickert then, just because I'm already on board with Fickert. He has invalidated his lap, however, so I think I will find somebody else.
I believe Garrity was right behind him.
Garrity is.
Or no, Levine.
Okay. Well, we're on board with Garrity, who also invalidated his lap, so thank you. I'm kidding.
I'm giving
I should probably figure that out on my own.
All the way.
Yes, you are. Now we're on board with Levine, who is coming through the final section here, his last two corners, and he's looking pretty good so far.
Well,
Pretty good.
He's saying that, just messed it up.
I'm back now.
Pretty good.
By the way, so
Welcome back.
oh,
Let's see, Levine is going to be able to put it into P7. And he is actually our first gold driver to cross the line. Matt Anastasi putting it in P6, pushing Levine down to 8th.
Aaron Anderson on his
Baker time. Aaron Anderson. Yeah, Anthony. I think I was thinking of the famous
and
actor.
there's Dupuis.
Well, I know
right
for
there,
a fact,
right behind him, .060.
That is going to be a fun fight to watch because a little sneak peek without going into the driver standings and everything. Those two are fighting for the team series win between the respective teams right now.
They are, and I'm going to be on board with Dupuis as he's coming for his next lap. As Sam Wreck just took away from both of them.
Just slipped the rug out from underneath him. Yeah, no question about it. And you got to keep in mind, too, Whitting Jr., he got his 2:10, which, mind you, extremely respectable time. Took him 5 laps to do so, okay? Wreck, Anderson, and Dupuis, they're on lap 2, and they're already surpassed that.
Yeah, and these drivers at the top, they've been very consistent. Dupuis, obviously, being four-time winner now.
And Dupuis has actually been caught up to some traffic ahead of him. It looks like a wee haul. So he's going to have to back out or hope that the wee haul invalidates and then moves over because, we have a rule here at SRA that you cannot overtake when you're in the middle of a qualifying session.
Also, can we talk about Sam Wreck, who right now is getting towards the Hamilton straight? They're up a second on their time right now. Roughly. Well, then,
crushing it.
Good lord,
is the word we're looking for.
See, this is lap 3 for him.
No,
this is what I mean.
This is lap 2.
Well,
no, he's done 2 laps.
He's done 2 laps. He's on his 3rd, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, I know that I like to try to highlight everybody through qualifying and everything. I might not do the best jobs, but I try to. But right now, I'm going to focus a lot more on the fight for P1 tonight, just because of how close the battle for the team series and drivers championship is.
For sure.
All the points matter tonight for these drivers up at the top, and like I said, we'll get to see that here in a little bit and break it down. But yeah, Wreck, as you see, going through the last couple turns here of left field and then into Woodcott before he gets to the start-finish straight, up 1.0 seconds, and that.
Oh my goodness, dude! 2:08.7.
That is our first 2:08.
Sam Wreck.
And they are going to have to
Ooh.
bail on this next lap, it looks like, just because they caught up into traffic ahead of them.
I'm going to be on board with Matt Anastasi as he's coming through a portion of the track that I can't tell from the interior cam. Doing pretty well so far. 3/10 up on his time. Down at 8th spot. Oh, coming down the Hamilton Straight.
Yes. I can only tell because of the cones on the outside of that turn.
Yeah, the only way I could is because I saw the grid boxes.
Also, another one, Super Dave, who is 8/10 up on their time. Also one of those drivers that is in the fight for the team standings. So, there's about 4 drivers that are fighting tonight for all the points they can possibly get for both drivers and teams. Again, I'll have to break that down here after qualifying when we're waiting for everybody to get ready for the race. And you'll get to see how dark these drivers are going to have. This track is going to get because these drivers are going to be racing at night.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
not
they
just
will.
night, but like pitch black night.
Yeah, we're not exaggerating. A lot of these fans will get to see that here in a little bit because we do have a minute 19 left.
And Anastasi's coming around the last corner, just barely going to be improving on his time if he can hold it here coming out of it. Might move him up. And it does not. He's going to be an A spot, but he does get one more lap.
Well, Logan Schaefer right behind him does move up into P2. He was up 1.8 seconds, I believe. So
You know who's doing really well right now is Dupuy up 8/10 as he's coming around the last corner, and that put him P2. Just took it away from Logan right like that.
Man,
by 5/10.
By the way, Samrak's still the only driver that has a 208. Everyone else is in the 209s. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, Super Dave goes from 17 to 11. Is there any other big gainers here? Like Colin Shea rounding the last few corners.
Him.
Second up, almost. He's losing a little bit of time out of that last corner. I'll move him up into the top 15. I
Still going to be good enough to move him up just a bit, and that's going to move him into P12. He's going to get one more lap as well, I believe.
He will.
Another person up again. I was talking about him earlier. Oh, it looks like he's going to elect to not do it. Is Anastasi. This time around up 3/10.
And Anderson, look at him, up 8/10 over his previous best.
Oh my
4 laps in. Almost a second faster. If he nails this, we're talking he's in the 208 range.
Jesus. These are some good times.
I wish I was that fast.
Same. I
Yeah,
wholeheartedly
no
agree. I think we were hitting, what, 212s last night in medium rain?
Anderson's only growing. Now he's looking at
or the race?
1.2.
Race, I was doing 212s, yeah.
We also had medium rain compared to light rain in quali.
Yeah, quali I was doing 210s.
But we'll see where Anderson puts it. Right now I'm on Fickert, who is losing a bit of time. Probably that's not going to move him up much. It'll probably move him to P3, no, P4. Anderson is going to take that right back.
Yeah, Anderson's already he's flirting with
it,
1 second.
We're coming around the final corners. Yeah, he's in P5 right now. He might move himself up into P2.
He definitely will. 8/10 up, getting through that. Yeah, P2.
There we go.
There it is,
P2.
P2.
But Dupuy right there though.
3/10.
He was so close to getting himself a 208.
Yeah.
And you're right. Dupuy just stole it from him.
And then Robbie Toddy.
Oh my word!
8/10 up.
No way
P6.
he did. By 2/100ths of a second.
Looks like the last driver that's on a valid lap is Garrity. Coming through here. I mean, there are other drivers on valid laps, but they are not currently up in the green deltas.
Yes.
And losing a lot of time there, actually, into Woodcott. What happened there? I don't know. But that moves him up a couple spots into P24. So, John, you want to run us through the top 10?
Sure. Top 10 for the race. Well, first, let me just, Sam Reck putting in an absolute flaming time, 208.72 for pole position. Then it's going to be Zach Dupois in P2, followed by Aaron Anderson, Logan Schaefer P4, Dustin Fickert P5, Robbie Toddy in P6, Chris Whitting Jr. in P7, Andy Speed in P8, Matt Anastasi P9, Chris Sweeney in 10, and then I believe it's Matthew Lee in P11. That's going to actually be our top 11 because I don't know how to count. But
It happens. On screen now, though, I do have the team series driver standings first. As you see, Zach Dupuis and Sam Reck sitting there 1 and 2. Dupuis 53 points clear of Reck. Will need to finish in P11, but now needs to finish in P12, I believe, since he did get the. Dupuis on pole or Reck on pole?
Reck is on pole.
Reck got an extra point, so yes, Dupuis needs to finish on 11th, and Reck needs to win the race to get the win here. So we'll see what happens there, and we'll go to the second page.
Because we know that Dupuis is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Say that
on
he
a
only
tear.
has to finish higher than 11th.
Yes.
Is probably foretelling of how this race is going to go.
Well, then we get into the driver standings. You'll notice Dupuis and Sam Reck are again sitting in P1 and 2. So that is a little tighter of a fight. I believe it's 29. No, it's more than 29 points. That one is going to be a little harder for Reck and Super Dave to overcome. But as long as Reck and Super Dave finish ahead of Aaron Anderson and Dupuis, they will take it. But they need to come out swinging tonight.
Now, I want to mention something because you haven't said it, but our Silver Championship does still have some people that can maybe take a podium or maybe even the win, because Dunham is not here this week.
Oh,
so he's going to be getting 0 points, and he is our silver leader.
Well, I appreciate you bringing that one up.
Is his drop race, though?
I'm not sure.
I'll have to go look, but I believe there was another race that he may have missed because Dunham did get brought up from D4, if you remember.
Oh yeah, he was very fast.
Yes, so Dunham technically already has a drop race of 0.
Gotcha. Yeah, if the drop race has already been factored in, then yeah, absolutely.
Well, we are getting ready for the formation lap.
Started.
As you can see, it is very dark here at Silverstone.
Currently, but 10 p.m. I believe.
Yes, starting at 10 p.m.
That's why I'm so tired.
But yeah, Sam Reck starting on pole, leading the entire grid through here, through a very wet Silverstone, and we will have to see what happens tonight. Lap 1, you're gonna have to be a little extra cautious just because you're into some, like I said, the high risk corners where you're just slinging the car around and trusting it. So you are going to be going wheel to wheel with drivers through these sections, so you're just going to have to be a little bit more cognizant of that, give a little bit more space, and go a little easier on your braking zones.
That's very true. I wanted to point something out because I'm just looking through it on my phone right now. Dunham is not here. Whitting Jr. is in second by 59 points. So all he has to do is get 60 points. I don't know what position that is because I can't math.
11th
and then he
is
can
53,
get the win.
So I believe he'll have to be finished in the top 10.
Top 10 then. So Whitting Jr., who is starting P7, basically just to hold his position for the whole race, and he should take the win. Holmes is going to be behind Whitting Jr. by about, I want to say 50 points, thereabouts. So he's going to be trying to get to B2. Sean Williams, who would have been in the fight for a podium, is not here today, but Robert Almeida, who has the same amount of points as Williams, is, so he can maybe round off our podium.
All right, well, I appreciate you bringing that information from me.
Behind Holmes. Yes, of course. That's why I'm here.
Nate, is there any notable things happening tonight, penalty-wise, that we need to keep track of, or is it all clear tonight?
It's all clear. I actually looked into that a little bit earlier. There's no pit lane starts. There's no, any outstanding penalties that need to be served. In fact, I think there was only one penalty that was handed out last race, if I'm not mistaken. So I think it should be a relatively
cut and dry,
event-free start. Yeah, exactly.
That's what we like to see. you hate to see when there is incidents on track, and
Absolutely.
so it's
And
nice
I'm
that
just sorry, I think you guys will find this interesting. I'm just getting some information from an inside source that says the D2 race turns out to actually be a completely bone dry surface.
it wouldn't be an SRA season without one.
If we look at the cockpit view of Wreck here, I mean that looks pretty dry to me. But if I'm looking at the rear end view of them, it looks pretty wet. I don't know what to believe here.
I'm gonna say it's probably light rain with a lot of water on the track, so it is gonna create a lot of spray, and we'll probably see a lot of dry lines start to form if it stays relatively light like it is right now.
Yes, but the question is going to be is if it takes or if it gets any stronger as we're coming around the final corners here as we're grouping up 2 by 2.
I'm gonna rely on you guys on that one because I do not have the weather widget on my screen, so you guys are gonna.
I don't. Oh, that's Nate.
No, not Nate at all. I'm just looking at it from a standpoint of, well it looks dry to me.
Here we go.
It quacks like a duck.
Getting ready for the last race of the season, as John was saying. These drivers are now getting to the start-finish line and into a very heavy braking zone right away. So let's pay close attention and see what happens as we're off. And wait for it. Green light.
There it is.
All the way for the last time tonight. Sam Wreck getting a good start as we see a couple drivers behind getting a little argy-bargy already. I saw a little shoving as we get into Meggetts and Beckett's here, going one by one for the leaders here, and drivers behind starting to file in. And there are a couple going side by side, but everybody...
Oh, and we got a yellow flag. Carbo. Oh no!
Oh no! And Wreck is already off.
He's off the track. He just got a little bit too slidey coming out of the last corner, and we have a wheel haul in the back. The back who? Oh no!
Oh.
Okay, let me take a look at this. As Whitting Jr. has just seen his championship run.
That is
maybe take a massive hit. Let me go back 15 seconds.
Honestly,
so Whitting Jr. got involved when that wheel haul went sideways along with a Honda, and then some people behind were not expecting it. He got plowed into the side as we have about 4 or 5, maybe even 6 cars off before we even get halfway into Sector 2. So Whitting Jr. now is going to be racing from the back, P29, and he has to get all the way up to P10 now.
Well, that is heartbreaking. I know I had a very decent camera angle of the aftermath of all of that. So, there was cars everywhere, and Jeff Spangler in chat saying, "Oh God, these drivers have families." That was some murders back there. As I see more yellow flags between Petrovic's and someone else, I believe. Maxwell's involved.
And Whitting Jr. having a lot of trouble right now as he got a little bit sideways again with Gino and Speed having some problems. He's off the track. I don't know what's happening anymore at this point because our leaderboards aren't updating quick enough. It looks like Maxwell and Sweeney are involved in an accident. I think you said that. But
Lee is also involved in one too. What happened here? I'm going to go back 15 seconds. Like we said, this track being wet, you're relying a lot on other drivers, so the spray may have gotten to them, and they also touched paint. One of the deadly things in the rain, you do not have grip, you do not have, you do not go and collect $200, you end up in the wall. You go directly to jail.
Yeah, directly to jail.
Speaking of the pits, we are already into our pit lane. Our pit window, as people have already started electing to pit. I guess the people that have a lot of damage, as you know, we've seen in the past few races.
No, Rashkosh missed cops there and was on the old pit exit line. So
Whit Jr. actually decided to elect to not pit, and it looks as if that may have been a mistake so far. He's having a hard time controlling this Aston. which, you know, just Aston things in the wet, but also that hard hit that he had at the start, probably not going to help him as we see Sweeney with another yellow flag. He is off and his car is stalled. Let me go back and see what happened here. Looks like coming through Maggots and Beckett's, he touched the grass and it just sent him around when he tried to get back onto the track. But
I went back and looked at what happened to Roscosh. Just sent it a little too hard into cops. Got a little tail happy. We see Logan Schaefer go wide into Maggots and not Maggots and Beckett's. That is, I believe, Abby. Oh, so this is a crazy start for this race. I'm trying to remember the last time we had
D3 because I don't think we've had a first lap collision like that since maybe the very beginning of the season. I could
Barcelona
be wrong.
is honestly the one that comes to my mind of the most crazy race we've had this season. As you know, if you watched us all season, we were all three of us going back and forth. So
chaotic.
Yeah. Now we are seeing something similar again. So start the season off with a bang, end the season off with a bang. These drivers are saying. So
I'm going to be on board with Schmitzer as he's hunting down Flores, and he already lost his gap as Robert Almeida and Holmes swapped spots ahead of them for the battle for 14th. Take a breath. And then Almeida is going to now be fighting back against Holmes as we're coming into, I believe, the last corner here?
that'll be Brooklyn's in left field into Woodcock. As I see Lee has a yellow flag facing the wrong way.
My God, and there was a Mercedes. That just scared the hell out of me, and I was on board.
Oh, no.
So Lee and Roscosh, I think is who that was, came very hard together in the middle of the track. Let's take a look.
Maxwell was caught up in that too. Almeida was caught up in that.
Maxwell's into on the side of another car. Petrovic's just barely slid by along with another Mercedes, and it looks like Almeida may have been hit again.
As he likes to go to the garage.
Just got a tow back to the pits because he's just not going to be able to drive that car. No, this is chaotic, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the pits that were all involved in that so far. It's from Gino all the way down to Lee at the moment, as well as Almeida.
Spangler, I am working on getting to your question. As you see, it has been a chaotic start. That would be Garrity starting 24th and is jumped 14 positions and is now sitting in P10.
Oh, and I'm on board with Sweeney as he took a little bit too much curb and spun it around. I'm sorry, Sweeney, that's my bad. I kind of gave you a commentator's curse by being on board. I'm going to go on to Johnny Ayers. He's fighting with Petrovic's right now, only about 2/10 behind him as we're coming into a portion of the track that I can't tell because it's too dark.
I feel you there. Yeah, there. Like I said, we've been saying action up and down this field. Maybe some people pushing a little too hard, being in the wet, and also maybe just going a little too wide at some points. There's a lot of spots on this track that you're not really supposed to go out to just because there's no grip. Like I said, that painted area, it will toss your car around. If you brake on a curb, you are going to lose the car. So
if you accelerate on a curb, you're going to lose the car.
Yeah.
If you do anything near a curb, you're gonna lose the car.
There's some, you can take the apexes on the curb. That's pretty much about it with the curbs. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of these drivers, like I said, probably pushing a little too hard. As I see Logan have a yellow flag, it looks like he went through Chapel a little too hard. As it looks like I lost Nate as he's back now.
And he's back.
Oh, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Were you trying to talk and then couldn't?
Yeah, evidently I was muted that whole time. I am sorry, guys.
Oh, you're okay. We've had chaos, so we've been able to fill airtime.
Yeah. I am going to move away from this Anastasi, Petrovic's, and Flores battle because I just noticed that up at the top, Anderson and Dupuis are fighting it out right now.
Yeah. So is Levine fighting it out too. In
soon as I said that, Anderson went deep into that right-hander coming off the Hamilton straight. The slow right-hander, not the fast one. Tell me what that is, corner man guy.
That would be
Corner
the
game
exit
guy.
of club.
There we go, the exit of club.
Garrity is having a moment there, and I believe that's Abby. Oh no, he was having such a good start too, but didn't lose a lot of positions, but lost a couple. Words are hard.
They are. It happens.
You guys and girls have seen me all season struggle with words. I'm glad that I get to continue the trend for the last race of the season. I wouldn't have it any other way.
I'm actually going to be on board with Logan Shaper, who is in P5. He's only down one spot after all that craziness. He's going to be fighting with Carbo and Levine, who I believe both of them started pretty far down. Yeah, Carbo was in 15th, was able to make it up to 6th so far, and then Levine was 14th, make it up to 7th so far. So they both basically doubled their positions because of the first lap and second lap screwiness, we'll say?
Yeah.
Screwiness. Yeah, I like that one.
One thing that I will mention, I know you were following this fight between Air and Petrovic. Air has now gotten past Petrovic and is immediately on the... Nope, that would be Petrovic is still on the back of him. It looks like the car in front decided to pit.
Oh, Roscosh's yellow flag. What happened there, Nate?
Roscosh, I didn't even have him on my radar at the time. Son of a beast thing. He does have a yellow flag, though. But if I bring it back...
Looks like it was a pit
30
lane.
seconds. Hold on. Let's see if I can find out any information. Any useful information whatsoever.
You're so helpful, thank you.
I believe it was a pit lane entry. He got a little loose on entry and hit the wall.
Yeah, right there. Just coming around that corner, just beyond the pit lane. Yeah, just the rear end came out, got a little loose out from underneath him, and honestly, I'm very surprised he was able to salvage as much time as he did.
You know, Schaefer had a bit of a slower lap this past lap. That's going to let Carbo and Levine get just a little bit closer, but now Matt Anastasi is going to be in this battle as well as Tony.
Yeah,
they
nice little fight.
both made their way into this little train here, 4-car train. It's not complete battle yet, but it's definitely going to be forming into one, so I'll keep my eye on that.
Also, we have in
I'm
chat
actually going to be going on board with Wade Jr. again.
In chat, we have Fazley actually dropping a real French, while Spangler was deciding to drop a little bit of the fake French, just dropping the wee here and there, but... Fazley, I will have to look with the 1 liter with how much pit time I believe there was. I will try to find that out while you guys continue on here.
Yes, and I'm going to be watching Whitting Jr. as he's trying to chase down Gino, and Gino is trying to chase down Schmitzer in the battle for what is going to be 19th. Whitting Jr., as we know, got involved in that lap 1 incident. So far, he's made up, I believe it's not 8 spots, maybe 9 spots since that first lap, so he's been doing pretty well. He's got another 48 minutes, make up another 11. And then he'll be within shot or within reach of that silver championship.
Yeah, a lot of things to fight for here tonight.
Yeah,
and these drivers are really shelling out for all of that.
Yeah, there's no question about that. As we look at Smith, Holmes, and Air vying for 1, 2, 3 spots respectively for the D3 silver podium. Or silver podium for this particular race, not the overall standings, but
Roscosh is still in the pits.
How long has he been stopped for?
He's been stopped, or he was stopped. Where is he? He has been stopped for 24 seconds so far. Time in the pits total 40 seconds. As we just watched Whitting Jr. get a little bit squirrely there on the exit of the first turn. He's going to be a little bit behind now.
We want to find out what happened with Lee.
Let me take a look at...
He had a little bit of a moment. Someone said there's a drive-through for Logan Schaefer. There is. Probably track cuts. Megas and Beckett's, you can get 2 very easily. I found that one out the hard way last night, so...
Yes, you did. I love you, but that was kind of funny when I saw White Scarf or car number 122 drive through. I'm like,
I didn't get to drive through last night, so...
I thought you did.
No, I had track cuts, but we're seeing Gino here putting on a good fight with Schmitzer for, I believe that's P18. Gets the job done into, I believe that's Vale, and into the club section here. And Winning Jr. is also right behind him.
Logan was pulling off to let Levine, Toddy, and Anastasi go by so he could serve his penalty. But Anastasi now going to be fighting to try catch up to and pass Robbie Toddy, who's trying to catch up to and pass Levine in their fight for P6.
Well, I also missed it. Looks like Maxwell did get past Super Dave recently, and Super Dave is trying to fight back. Maxwell is also fighting to get past Flores, so that's also a nice little fight there for
Not
20
just
seconds.
that. Sorry, not just that. Not only is Super Dave right all over the back end of Maxwell, but Johnson is all over the back end of Super Dave, and Lee, the other Lee, not the Mercedes Lee, Lexus Lee, is on the back end of Johnson.
Yeah, so it's a tight fight right there, like we've been saying for 20 seconds. So anybody steps on a line, makes some minor error, and they'll gain a couple spots for the drivers behind them.
I'm actually going to be on board now, and from the back end of Maxwell's cars, he's trying to hold off Super Dave, Johnson, and Lee.
I'm going to jump on board since you got that covered. I'm going to go to Levine.
Those red Mercedes lights in the back just going, yes, give me your position.
Yeah, so a lot of pressure on all the drivers in that fight to be...
Oh! And Maxwell went a little wide, but that's all right because Super Dave was starting to get a little squirrely. That's going to let Johnson get past. Johnson's now going to be all over the back end of Maxwell's. We're coming through...
Megas and Beckett's.
Beckett's. Hey, aren't you impressed? I was able to tell from just the back end.
I would hope so. It's probably one of the more famous corners of this track.
Good point, good point. But Super Dave is going to be fighting back on Johnson with that Aston power if he can get it down while it's this wet.
Yeah, and
what's been happening so far? I'll keep you updated.
In the fight here for P5, we have Carboa, Levine, and Toddy on your screen. Toddy was making a little bit of a move. I know Fazley is going to be happy to hear that, considering it's a Armentario team. Speaking of Armentario, definitely want to shout them out for everything they do.
Yeah, here we go.
They do with the league. They help out, give us that extra HUD that you want. Gives you more data, more information, gives you everything you could possibly want as terms of braking, steering, gearing ratios of when you need to shift. So check out Armentario, and maybe you'll enjoy their HUD along with so many others.
Yeah, extremely customizable.
Super Dave went a little bit wide coming out of the right-hander right after, what did you call it? Vale, I believe?
Vale is the chicane and Club is the right-hander that leads onto Hamilton Straight.
Club then. No, never mind then. Neither one of those is correct. It's after the Hamilton Straight. Oh well, never mind.
Abbey into Farm into Village.
One of those two. Oh, and Johnson looking to go down the inside of Maxwell, just barely missing the back end of Maxwell's car. I'm actually going to go on board with Johnson now from the passenger view as we watch him try to take on Maxwell, because Maxwell is now all over the back end of Flores again. They had a little bit of a gap there, but Maxwell had a pretty good lap and has closed that gap now.
Yeah, this is a good group of cars. Now it's moved into... Ooh, Fazley dropping hot tips in chat for Armentario. Apparently there's a new version of that will be coming out soon with more features. So he giving us SRA fans the juicy deals.
As Maxwell just went wide, almost came into Johnson there. Johnson had to do a little bit of emergency braking. That was a close one there. Looks like Maxwell just got a little bit squirrely on the exit of Beckett's there.
I did not think that was going to end in anything but disaster, but somehow they pulled it off.
They did. It was impressive.
I retract my statement about Fazley saying anything. Nothing was said.
Noted.
But love you, Faz. Thank you for the work you've done with that team. So
Sean, don't be egging on Faz.
well, I'm on board with Fazley. Not Fazley. Wow, Fazley, you're racing here too?
He's omnipotent, man. Everywhere all at once.
Levine. As I see Garrity actually.
Oh, and Maxwell's going to be side by side with
What a
Flores.
great
Both of them going
move.
slow, and Johnson's going to be going down the inside of both of them. 2-for-1 special on Maxwell and Flores. Maxwell's going to be side by side now with Johnson, almost touching as they come into the hairpin, getting onto the straight to go towards the very back end of the track, and then Johnson, who got both of them, is going to lose out now to both of them. Touches the back end there of Flores and is now going to lose out to Super Dave as well.
Oh my God.
Super Dave going to be side by side with Flores. Going to back out, maybe go down the inside as...
And another position lost?
Lee is now taking over Johnson as well. Going to be... Super Dave did get... My God, there's so much going on. Super Dave got past Flores. Lee is now going to be trying to get past Flores as well. Johnson trying to get back up to where he was at the beginning of this fight because he had a really bad turn after almost colliding with Maxwell and lost 4 spots in the span of 10 seconds.
Yeah, you have to
Maybe
be
15.
feeling it at that spot right there. You know, you're coming in, you gain 2 positions around 1 clever turn, and then all of a sudden you get passed again. You gave up that first position you gained, and then you get passed again from the second one you gained, but then there was a third one behind you, and then a fourth. The next thing you know, that clever turn turned into a net loss of 4 places. Essentially.
However, Maxwell now has to worry about Super Dave, who, as we saw earlier, does know what he's doing, and he is quite fast. We have seen that this season. So we're going to see what happens as we're seeing some love for Whitting Jr. in the chat right now. He is up into P18 after that awful lap 1 incident, so he's only got another 8 or so spots to go. I don't know if he has pit yet. Nate, I'll let you check on that, but if he has... he might see him jump up quite a few more spots.
Well, while that fight was going on, I believe it was Meeks on Anasazi making a wonderful move into the loop there and getting by, as now Levine is battling with Toddy, and Levine gaining a spot and Toddy dropping back after Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel as they go on the hanger straight now into Stowe. We'll see if anything happens there. I don't think so. He's a little too far behind. Sweeney is behind Petrovic's as they go to Megas and Beckett's.
Give me just a second, as Maxwell got a really bad exit coming out of the left-hander after the Hamilton straight. I believe you said club. So Super Dave is going to be within a 1/10 of this car now as we're coming up into the final 2 corners here. Not going to send it down the inside. Going to wait and see if Maxwell leaves the door open for him on the next part of the track. He does not, but... Oh, he's going a little bit wide as we're coming out of the last corner here. Maxwell might be losing out to Super Dave. Can't really tell yet as he's getting really squirrely on the exit. Super Dave is going to fly past into 21st spot. Maxwell going to be slotting in behind him as we're coming in turn 1 here. If Flores, Lee, and Johnson are all being walked on as Flores goes quite a bit wide there on the exit of turn 1 as well, behind both Maxwell and Super Dave. Maxwell going to be falling behind to Super Dave just a little bit through Maggots and Beckett's. Not by much, though, as oh, no. Super Dave went off the track.
Oh,
Maxwell's going to get his spot right back, but is going to have Super Dave all over the back end again.
Well,
yeah, and following up with your question there, that from P1 through P11, all right, so Dupuis through Holmes, 11 positions, none of them have pit yet so far. So we're going to see a little bit of undercutting, overcutting.
Has Whitting Jr. pit yet?
Whitting Jr. is actually finding himself at P18 right now. He has pit one time. He had a 50-second pit time.
I'm sorry, as Lee just almost went into the back end of Super Dave coming through Club before we get to the Hamilton straight. Lee is going to back out just a little bit, try and regather his bearings as Super Dave drives off into the sunset. That's going to leave him open for passing from Johnson now, trying to get back to where he was as he has gotten past Flores. So that's 1 out of the 4 done. Now he's got 3 more to go. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. No, Whitting Jr. At a loss of 11 places since where he qualified. He has pit with a 50-second pit window or pit stop. And that sounds egregiously high.
But he had that lap 1 accident.
Exactly.
Now, I saw in the chat from Faz that Osborne, who is leading the group of cars that has pits, Osborne, Gino, Whitting Jr., Garrity, he is closing up quite a bit on those that have not pit. Oh no, and it looks as, wait, did Maxwell just go what? I can't tell what just happened. Yes, he did. I'm sorry. I should probably pay attention to the battle that's going on in front of me. As Super Dave and Maxwell already back on it again with one another, as Maxwell went a little bit wide in the second to last corner, let Super Dave get within another 10th. Lee is going to be right on the back end of Super Dave as we're coming through here right now. Maxwell went a little bit wide here on the exit of turn 1. That's going to let Super Dave get alongside. Is he going to have the speed to get past into Maggots and Beckett's? No, he is not going to back out. Let Maxwell take it. Maxwell goes into the grass, getting a little bit squirrely, coming through Beckett's now into Chapel. Gets a good exit out of Chapel as we come onto the hangar straight. Did I get that right?
Yes, that's
okay. As we come onto the hangar straight, Lee is going to be onto Johnson as Johnson was able to get past Lee and all of that craziness. He has now made up the 2 spots that he's lost. So he's now trying to get past the other 2 as Super Dave and Maxwell still fighting side by side. Lee is now side by side with Johnson in the Mercedes as we're coming up into the chicane here. Vale, thank you. I'm just going to say turns and then you say the name.
I got you. That'll be Club next into the Hamilton
All
straight.
right, we're coming into the Hamilton straight right now. So Maxwell from Dave, from Johnson, from Lee to Flores. Flores, don't cut him out of this battle yet. He's only 2 tenths behind Lee as we're coming out of the right-hander at the end of the Hamilton straight. Lee is going to be trying to make his way up to Johnson. Johnson has about a half a second gap to Dave. Dave is all over the back end of Maxwell again, as I think Maxwell had a compromise exit out of the right-hander. They're going to be side by side as we come into the straight after the Hamilton straight. So the first straight for F1, which I don't even think has a name.
That's straight after, you're talking about after the loop and entry?
Yes.
That would be the Wellington straight.
Wellington, okay, so Beef Welling, got it. So Maxwell, Super Dave still going to be right bumper to bumper as we're coming around the end of another lap. Matt Johnson going to be right behind Super Dave. I'm getting lost with the names I've been talking about. Super Dave seemed to cut the track there just a little bit. Might be seeing some track warnings in his cockpit there. Is coming into turn 1. Let's see how everyone does here. Johnson a little bit wide. Oh no, and Johnson spinning the car. Lee able to get past. Flores able to get past. I believe Rashkosh will be able to get past as well. Flores lost quite a bit of speed. I think trying to avoid the spinning car of Johnson is actually going to give the spot up. Okay, never mind. I believe that's Dupuis, who is now entering this blue flagging these cars as he's lapping everyone now. So Lee was able to escape unscathed. Unfortunately, Johnson lost the spots he had gained again and some, now down in 26th spot or position by about 8 seconds as he tries to catch up to Rashkosh. And I just saw Lee go way deep here at the right-hander. Super Dave going to be all over the back end of Maxwell as these two seem to be the final 2 left in this multi-lap battle within these, 5 cars? Is this just come down to Maxwell and Super Dave, as Lee is now 1.5 seconds behind. But as we have seen in that Lexus, he is quite fast, so I wouldn't count him out just yet. He might be able to get back up here in a lap or 2. I have done a lot of talking. I apologize, but this has been a very interesting battle.
That is.
Now I'd
fun,
say
man.
you counted perfectly, man. That was exciting to listen to.
There's a lot going
David
on
Cross got nothing on me.
there. Well, I know that while you were talking, there was a couple different moves that were being made that I showed on screen. I know that there was a Honda that made a move. Sweeney made a move around the outside of Stowe a couple laps ago. It was, I don't remember how many laps ago. Made the move around Stowe on the outside. Very brave move. And held it into Vale and took that spot away. So that was a nice move I wanted to point out. I was watching it, gave it a little nice golf clap while you were yelling about, not yelling, but shoutcasting everything.
I apologize. I get excited and then I get loud.
You're all good.
Jess gets mad at me every week, so I'm gonna get a lecture again.
Hey, I balanced you out this time.
Oh, give me just a second, because Maxwell and Super Dave are at it again, coming through the first corner here. Maxwell braked early to try and mess up Super Dave's flow. He did actually mess it up, because he's now 7/10 behind as we come through Maggots and Beckett's here. So to see is Super Dave. Maxwell goes well off the track. That's going to let Super Dave get alongside as we're coming through Chapel here. He's going to get past. Whoa, voice crack. I'm in puberty again. He's going to be side by side with Maxwell as they're coming onto the hangar straight. I can't even tell where. They're side by side. Let's show that on the big screen because I can't get a good view of that. But Super Dave and Maxwell currently side by side as we come into the right-hander after the hangar straight. Maxwell's going to go way deep. That's going to let Super Dave do a switchback maneuver on him as coming into Apex. Apex? Apple. I don't know. The left-hander. Vale. That. Colorado. And now they're going to be again side by side as we're coming up to the Hamilton straight. Maxwell going to get it as Super Dave backs out a little bit, gets a little bit squirrely on the what's it called, exit there, as Dupuis
Dupuis just snuck his way
and Anderson both blue flagged them, and they're going to be fighting as they go past. Super Dave now having quite a few issues, so we're going to see how that turns out. Maybe he'll be able to catch back up to Maxwell, maybe not, but for now that battle is finally over.
Well, I got Holmes versus Smith right now, and then also Wreck and Anderson kind of ahead, or kind of by the see Sam Smith having a collection with another driver into Vale. That is one of those corners that you need to be brave on the brakes for if you're going to make it stick. Let's take a look at what happened as they just kind of came together with the Champion Motorsport car hitting the Audi right there, and that was worse for wear for the Audi. It looks like they lost a lot of time through that.
All right, and since that battle I was following has petered out a little bit, I just noticed that Osborne was able to get past Petrovic as he went deep, and we had a yellow flag for Garrity there.
Yeah, I missed the Garrity one, so.
I'm going to be on board with Toddy now. Sorry. I found another battle. Toddy now side by side, almost on the back end of Carbo's Weehall, coming through the last corner here. See if he's able to get a good run here in the battle for P5, moving all the way up the grid from where I was just a few minutes ago. Coming into turn one, let's see if Toddy's going to try and slot into the inside. No, he will not. Just follow behind and wait for Carbo to make a mistake.
I'm yeah, that fight on the big screen as well, so you get to see the spray that Toddy has to deal with through Maggots and Beckett's.
Visibility 3 feet.
I wouldn't even say 3 feet. It's like visibility none. Here's a white cloud in your face.
Yeah, if you can't see anything, you're doing something right. If you can't see the track, then you're not behind the car. And then maybe you are doing something right, Maybe at this point, you're Anderson in first place.
Yeah. Dupuis also right behind
I love you.
I also have Wreck, who's on the back of Fickert here. Just going through the loop here as they get close to the Wellington straight. Wreck only half a tenth back, just not able to keep the pressure on through there as he was 2 tenths back but we'll see what happens through this Wellington Straight. We also note that the top 6, you guys know what manufacturer that is?
Aston Martin. And in speaking of Aston Martin, I actually have some fun facts about Aston Martin this week. I'm not even kidding. That is my transition to that. But I'll say them in a little bit because Toddy and Carbo are right bumper to bumper as we are on the Beef Wellington Straight right now. Coming into the final 2 turns, let's see if Carbo is going to make a mistake. Toddy made a mistake going almost into the back end. Woohoo! Having to back out, just barely saving Carbo's wee-haul booty. So he's going to be trying to fight back now and get right past him.
You know,
seems like a good time to do an Aston Martin fact.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my first fact, the DB line, so like DB9, DB7, the DB line of cars was named after David Brown, who was a UK businessman who bought Aston Martin in 1947. So DB is actually named after the person who was running the company at the time.
There you go. Well, manufacturer thing there for the English team.
Who is currently locked down the entire top six.
Holmes and Smith, by the way, battling right now for each other. Both pit, same time.
Both been into the pits.
Exact same time, so we'll see what happens there.
And my goodness, I missed it! The battle I've been following the entire freaking race, Super Dave got past Maxwell!
Happened. Can you tell us any more details on it?
I don't know, because I don't know when he got past. I've been watching Robbie Toddy and Carbo going at it.
We'll have to dissect a little bit and see what happens with their fights as we see Jess actually is now up into P12 after some of these drivers are making their pits, so we'll see if that trend continues for him going up first.
And you know who's going to also like that trend is Whitting Jr. right now sitting in 16th place. He's got a little bit of a gap to go to catch up to P15, but if he can keep making up spots, as I say that Carbo goes deep, I apologize for cutting myself off. Carbo's going to be going deep. That's going to let Robbie Toddy get past, but Robbie Toddy is also going to be going deep the next corner as we come onto the Hangar Straight. Carbo going to be slotting behind, though, because he had a much slower corner than Toddy did, so they swapped spots. Robbie Toddy now going to be trying to close the 24-second gap to Sam Reck in P4.
Did you apologize to yourself?
Yes, I did. I more so apologize to the people who are watching because all of a sudden my train of thought just completely swapped. But
I thought I could have swore I heard you cut yourself off, and you're like, I apologize to me.
I did
about that.
I did say that, yes.
Carbo, I will say though, he's found himself 9 places ahead of where he qualified tonight. P15, if I'm not mistaken. And he's healthily in 6th place. All you, Austin, what do you got?
Well, just kind of commenting on that though, it does get a little skewed with that large pit window. So we'll see when there's about 2 minutes left in the race where he actually ends up. But if he keeps pace up very high, he can finish pretty well up there in the top 10 and hold a gap.
Yeah.
In the picture-in-picture, just then we watched Rashkosh give Flores a Rashkosh driving school lesson on how to overtake someone on the inside of that corner coming off of the Hangar Straight as he got past and is now sailing away. That's going to leave Flores open and ready to be overtaken by Lee now. Lee, of course, the car who was battling Maxwell and Super Dave, who are now 3 spots ahead of him. He's going to be trying to catch him back up to try and overtake him again. Johnson, of course, the loser in that fight, unfortunately for him, after he had his spin, now 7 seconds behind Lee. So he's got a ways to go.
I see yellow flag for Smith. It looks like it was a exit of cops there, but on the main screen, we just saw Wreck pass Fickert into the loop as Fickert went a little deep on that first turn. So that gave Wreck the prime run into the loop and has now taken P3, as we see in the background. Fickert there, looks like they're going into the pits there to get their 1 stop done with 1 leader. But I did hear you mention somebody going to driving school. You know who also has a school?
Who?
Coach Jeffrey's Academy.
Oh
Hey!
shit!
The man, the coach, the GOAT. Coach Jeffrey's
The
Academy has
legend.
Give me a
been there.
second though about talking about Coach Jeffries, because Lee is going to be trying to go side by side with Flores in the Maggots and Beckett's. Decides to back out because he just knows that Porsche will be able to grip up better than his Lexus. But he knows also that we're coming up to the hangar straight, and versus that flat six, that amazing V8 in the Lexus is going to absolutely annihilate the 6-cylinder Porsche. And as we are actually seeing that, as he is now pulling up alongside, and this is where Flores got the overtaking academy from Roscosh. He's able to block it this time from Lee, learned from his mistake last lap. So we're going to go at it again.
Well, like we were saying though, the coach, the GOAT, the man that's been there, done that. That would be Coach Jeffrey's Academy. Man that does a lot for the league, offering everything from racing advice to life advice. Also running the the Fantasy League for SRA. So if you have anything you want to see that he offers, definitely go check out his website, and also check out all of the predictions that he puts out every week.
By the way, that Super Dave and Maxwell battle, Super Dave is now 4 seconds clear of Maxwell after getting past him. And Roscosh all over the back end of Maxwell now. I was watching the battle with Lee and Flores. I didn't even realize that Roscosh, who I'm going to call the Switchback King for tonight, because I've seen him do 2 so far, I believe. All over the back end of Maxwell as they're coming into the last 2 corners. Maxwell's going to be going a bit wide as we come into the last corner here. Let's see if Roscosh is able to use that Mercedes power against an Audi. I don't think he will, because I think the V10 is a little bit better.
Yeah, but the rain also
It's nice to see you.
Being one of the great equalizers for a lot of these drivers and cars. Something we did talk about very early on in this broadcast.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. The rain always brings the element of, oh, you qualified 20th? Well, depending on how consistent you can be, you might find yourself in the top 10.
Yeah. We see a lot of drivers making moves. I believe Whitting Jr. was one of those ones that did end up getting caught out at the beginning. They are currently sitting P15, so they are on making money moves, as they say.
Cash money moves all around.
Let's see, Lee
and Flores just swapping spots really quick. Give me a second. As we're coming through the spot where Flores actually gave it up to Roscosh 2 laps earlier. Lee's able to get past on the inside and continue on his merry way. Flores, unfortunately, loses the same spot the same way he did to Roscosh.
Unfortunate. Maybe self-reflecting after the race and see where they can do better. Maybe go get Coach Jeffrey's Academy and get some help there.
Or he might need some setup help.
I don't know if it's a setup help, but you did mention setups. They are also on the screen. That would be Go Setups, as John is trying to segue into. Go Setups has partnered with, as I see cars off. Oh no, that is Maxwell and Roscosh. I'm actually gonna go back 15.
No. Really?
Yes, that was...
I'm gonna get a replay for this.
I'm already on the replay, but it looks like Mercedes came in a little too hot, and they came together. It was a little too hot.
I don't know, that might be a little more than a little bit too hot, but we'll go with a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, we're referencing Go Setups. So they give you any car that's in the game apart from the Reuter, but you can get any setup, any track, and help improve your lap times. If you are struggling with the setups, maybe it is no longer a setup issue, more of a skill issue. I can confirm.
Wow.
I can confirm. I'm saying I can confirm it's a skill issue. So
Look, just take the guessing work out of it.
Exactly.
You want a pro setup? Go with the Go setup.
Oh my gosh, that was hot. So
I hate both of you so much.
But
you know how we were talking about Whitting Jr.? Give me a second. I just want to point this out really quick. Whitting Jr. right now, within half a second of Gino for P14. So he's trying to everything he can to make his way up and get into the top 10. He knows what's at stake, and he wants it bad.
Yeah. As I was finishing though with the Go setups, go to give them a check out. They are linked through our Discord along with our website. If you do end up buying a setup, it does help SRA out. So again, go check out Go setups for all of your setup needs for any car, any track.
How about a second fact?
Yeah, we can get one in, squeeze one in here real quick while we are watching some fights on the main screen.
Cool. You know Lagonda, like Aston Martin Lagonda?
Sure.
Lagonda was actually founded in 1906 as its own company by an American opera singer type person. And it didn't actually become an Aston Martin property until 1947 when David Brown, the guy who the DB series is named after, took control of the company and moved it under the Aston Martin umbrella.
Interesting.
I think it is.
Since, I'm on board here with Maxwell as they were closing in on Flores, but looks to be slipping out. But we'll see if they can get that Audi power to catch up as they are right now. That V10 likes to go fast. Trying to gain some positions back after that collision they had, so we'll keep an eye on that fight.
I'll ride on board with him for you.
All right. I'm on board with Whitting Jr., who's battling Gino, who's battling Holmes for P13. So that is another close fight. Leader update. I know we haven't really given you guys a lot of that, considering that we have 15 minutes left in the race. Leader update. Aaron Anderson, currently P1. Best time of a 2:10.5. Zach Dupuis right behind, 2 seconds behind, with a 2:10.64 as their best lap. I believe the top 5 have yet to pit. Fickert being the first one to pit. Sandwiched in between Fickert and Meeks for pitting is Anastasi and Schaefer, who need to pit. And then Johnny Ayer, rounding out the top 10, needs to pit as well.
Interesting.
So, lots still
Nate,
at stake.
how you doing over there?
Fantastic, man. I'll tell you what, this is a very exciting race to watch. And you know, seeing as I raced last night on this course and had an abundance of difficulties, I don't feel as bad seeing some of the difficulties that a lot of the D3 drivers have had tonight. Kind of makes me feel like, so you're saying it wasn't just me.
Everybody struggles in the rain. It is unforgiving.
I actually like the rain.
I do too.
Honestly, I do as well. But on Silverstone, which I'd never driven before, prior to last night's race, in pitch black, that was a hard. And let's face it, Silverstone has a lot of blind corners. You know, if you think of like Olton, or if you think of like Mount Panorama, or Bathurst, if you will. If you think of, did I impress you there? Austin,
I did, yeah.
I got both names.
You got both names. Proud of you.
Yeah, baby. So, you know, a lot of these turns, you can see them, you can predict them as you're approaching them. Silverstone.
Ooh, give me a second. Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
As is key, you know, for a lot of F1 tracks and courses, it's very sudden, sharp turns, but on a very, very steady elevation. There's not a whole lot of pitch. There's not a whole lot of ups and downs. So, with that said, you get a lot of turns, whether it be hairpins or, you know, quarter pins or what have you, that you don't really get a chance to see how the apex is going to flesh out over the course of the turn. So really, you have to get it down to muscle memory, and that's even in the daytime. Ooh. Now, factor that with a pitch black, you know, environment with a monsoon-like condition. It's crazy. It's just absolutely nuts. So it was fun to see, you know, drivers react to those conditions, even though it wasn't very good for me.
Understandable.
And,
I see Bendy Brew.
We saw in the picture there. Sorry, we saw in the picture there as he got past Petrovic's for P17. What you're saying?
Bendy Brew and Bendy Brew violence here as Whitting Jr. and Gino are going wheel to wheel, who are teammates, by the way. And I know for a fact are in a voice chat together right now. As you see, Whitting Jr. may have got a little wide with their car, and Gino was off track. So, I'm sure some words are being spat back and forth in that call. But Whitting Jr. has now moved up into P14.
Nice. I'm going to be on board here with Dustin Fickert as he's fighting John Carbo for P5 or P4. Coming down the Hamilton straight now. Carbo had a really, really bad Hamilton straight, but it's all right because Fickert just messed up entry into the right-hander off of Hamilton straight.
Oh my gosh,
I just noticed something. Up at the front, Zach Dupuis and Aaron Anderson are within. I know. As soon as I said it, I knew it was right. Aaron Anderson within half a second of one another now, as we see Fickert right now just flashing Carbo, just going, "Get out of the way! Get out of the way!" Because Fickert has pit, Carbo has not. So he's trying to get Fickert. He's trying to get as close as he can to Sam Reck, Zach Dupuis, and Aaron Anderson, so he can try and close any sort of gap.
Well, I can say that Dupuis and Anderson, both being teammates, if they continue on this run for the next 10 minutes, are having a good shot here for the team standings. When I say good shot, I mean it's pretty much locked in.
What's the locked in?
Just then.
So we'll see what happens if they keep on this, and hopefully team orders don't become a thing. Let them fight, because that may get a little deadly.
Yeah, I just noticed something. We've only got about 3 battles on track right now. We've got Fickert Carbo, which I'm watching right here in the picture-in-picture. Whitting Jr. and Holmes, which I believe you're watching on the big screen.
I just turned into it now.
All right. Well, Whitting Jr. and Holmes, not on the big screen. And then Speed and Maxwell, which I'm actually going to switch to as this Carbo-Fickert battle seems to be petering out just a little bit. And Speed all over the back end of Maxwell as we're coming through onto the Hamilton straight.
Well, I know you mentioned speed, but you know what can help you with your speed in the office?
What?
Documize.
Whoa, really? How?
It's a tool to help you with all of your document control and team control.
Give me a second. Oh, never mind. Okay, nothing happened.
Team control, like working within your respective team, and giving out tasks.
Maxwell and Speed had a little bit of a touch there, but nothing too lethal.
But again, just give a quick look at Documize. They are linked again through our website and Discord, I believe. So they will help you with your lap times around the office by helping minimize the amount of time you actually have to walk around the office by shifting a lot of things online.
It's lovely because I hate walking.
Walking's not too bad. I have to do too much of it at my job.
That's why I just roll around in my chair. That's why I have
you get to fly.
Wheels.
But Whitting Jr. all over the back of Holmes right now, as they get through Vale and into Club. Like I said, all over that rear diffuser. So it is spray for Whitting Jr. and headlights for Holmes.
It's the combination that can and has lead to accidents today.
Yes. So, like we did say earlier, following driver, you are relying very heavily on that car in front and following a lot of their lines just because you can't see anything.
So I'm still on this battle with Speed and Maxwell. Maxwell got a really, really bad exit out of Chapel onto the hangar straight. That's going to let Speed try to maybe shoot it down the inside here at the next right-hander. Going to decide against it as Maxwell decides to go block the inside. Carries a little too much speed, takes it out wide, and is going to be on the curb as we come to the exit, able to maintain it without spinning or anything like that, which is nice and good for him. He's going to continue to hold off Speed as we come into the Hamilton straight again. Did I say Carbo at one point? I meant to say Speed.
I wouldn't also call it blocking. I would say defending.
Well off.
Defending that line.
Well, you know, okay.
Maxwell has a drive-through. I believe that was his last track cut.
Oh no!
Well, that's going to be earlier get one, and so now Maxwell as well.
Andy Speed in his cockpit right now after his race engineer just told him that is going to be cheering as he knows he can get past Maxwell now, and he just did.
He
as
does.
we come into the corner right before the hangar, or Wellington, the Beef
Yeah.
Wellington straight.
He's got two
Maxwell's
inside
gonna be-
corners on Maxwell.
Maxwell's going to be all over the paint as we come onto the Wellington straight, able to keep it in control. Yeah, so Speed gets past Maxwell. Now Speed going to be hunting down Flores as Maxwell gives it up to Rashkosh as well. Just getting
That's
out
Johnson,
of the way.
actually.
Knows he's
Turner
gotta
Johnson.
Johnson's going in for the kill right now.
I'm
though.
sorry, Johnson. My bad.
Oh boy, it's been an action-packed race, and
It's
we've
incredible.
got
you
6
know,
minutes left. This has flown by for the last race. It's like we said,
I'm so tired of talking.
start with a bang, end with a bang. These drivers are saying.
Well, I'll
So-
tell you,
Definitely.
Dr. Seuss over here. I'm loving it. The fact that they've been able to keep
Arbo in the
racing
pits,
is
P5.
as tight and as close, despite the conditions. I mean, that just goes to show you how much practice these guys have put down on this track, how well they have it committed to memory, how aggressive and how confident they are in their skill set. When let's face it, I mean, when you're right behind somebody, you can't really see what's going on. And as everybody knows, who's ever spent any time in the sim rig playing ACC, the car in front of you's brake lights are nothing to go by. You can't see them.
They're so tiny.
They're just not even there. So, you know, the guys that you're seeing in D3 tonight, just laying down absolute freaking heaters. It's really impressive to watch. You know, a lot of it has to do with just. It reminds me of that scene in Star Wars, you know, A New Hope, whenever Obi-Wan Kenobi puts the blinders over Luke Skywalker. He's like, no, you got to do it like this. I feel like that's exactly how everyone tonight in D3 had been training for this course.
As I saw, Aaron Anderson actually had a yellow flag, but I know you did bring up a Star Wars, a retro movie.
My man.
Oh my god.
You love it. John, come on, man. You love it.
You know what else is retro? Retro Saga.
You guys, because you're old.
Not us, but
This
Retro
guy,
Saga. They have all of your retro gaming needs, from controllers to memory cards to I believe emulators. So retrosaga.ca, give them a huge look if you are looking to look at the retro games.
Absolutely.
Holmes is going to be getting a little swing going wide, coming off the right-hander off the hangar straight, and it's going to let Whitting Jr. get right up alongside. Oh, very close to contact there. Able to avoid the contact, slots right back inside, or right back behind as we come onto the Hamilton straight. Whitting Jr., of course, needing to get up to where Jess Osborne is at least, I believe, to have any sort of potential at winning the D3 Silver Championship. I believe right now he's going to be sitting in P2 for the championship.
So, but as I was saying though, retrosaga.ca, definitely give them a look. They are linked on our website and Discord, so check them out.
Sorry for the interrupt.
And now, I mean, in this day and age, retro games are getting so much more popular.
And
you know, as
convenient
guys
to
my
get.
age start, yeah, exactly. Thanks to companies like Retro Saga who compile them and make it easy as possible for you to get your hands on them in a very legal and guilt-free process.
Johnny Air going through some Armco barriers. It looks like he may have just had a desync and is out of the game, unfortunately. So that is one of those technical issues that we have that real life drivers don't get, but you know.
Yeah, but they get them in other ways though. They get them in sudden engine failures, or like
we just get games that crash.
Sucking a pigeon up your.
Or as Eduardo Rodriguez would know, he just flies away every so often.
Yeah, the fatal error message.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be watching Holmes on
DirectX.
Osborne now as Whitting Jr., unfortunately, about a second and a half behind Holmes now because he was really slow coming through Maggots and Beckett's this lap.
Yeah. Well, look, all the drivers have pit now. Looking at it. Huge shout out
Good,
to
no pit penalties this week.
Yeah, huge shout out to Meeks right now, who started 22nd is now up into P5. So CJ
Wow,
Meeks
that's
bringing that Lexus all the way up there in
Lexus.
the top 5. Seems to be one of the big winners, and then unfortunately, looks like Lee and Shea are kind of our biggest losers at the moment. As
This
looks
man
like
just
Shea has
stole my
been in the
segment.
pits for 40 minutes.
I believe he just called it a day.
Yeah. So he's been sitting in that pit lane for a lot of this
That or
race.
he's got some major engine problems.
I don't know about that. But
This
I'm not
man
about
just
to.
stole my segment. I can't believe that.
I'm trying to help you out. You've done a lot of talking today, trying to help you out with
I
the
completely
talking.
forgot about it because of all the talking. I'm not even gonna lie. Thank you.
No problem. How
How long
before
before the next season? Oh, I'm sorry. Go for it.
We're all good. Next season, right now, tentatively, it's looking like, as I see Whitting Jr. No, Whitting Jr. No, he has a drive-through.
No.
Oh, at the last minute to go. But next season, it's looking like May, just because we are planning around the potential BOP. Oh my gosh, he sends it into the pit lane. Potential BOP changes along with the DLC that drops, so we can allow drivers to get it customized to everything. So,
Yeah, when's that coming out?
April
April
19th is
the tentative date.
for the 3 cars,
2 weeks?
maybe tracks. We don't know. We just know.
Jess Osborne
Oh,
just
what happened? there?
Okay,
Oh,
he had
out.
a problem,
Fatal error.
much like Johnny Error.
Yeah,
I was watching that
No,
as he
could
just
you
went,
imagine though being on your
Oh.
last
With
lap
1
and then
minute to
getting
go.
that?
that
Less
is
than a
Dude,
minute.
come
heartbreaking.
on, man. That's
And he was doing really well
absolutely-
as well. He was in P10 or P11 when
I
it
think we're gonna
happened.
get another lap here. Whitting Jr. has a stop go 30. He sped in the pit
You
lanes.
gotta
No,
be kidding me,
he was
though.
going too fast in the pit lane trying to maximize it, wasn't he?
Yep.
No.
Aaron Anderson and Zach Dupuis fight for first. They crossed the line with like 4 seconds left, so now we are going for another lap.
All right, I'm going to watch them on board, see if I can't call out any action that's going to happen. I'll be watching it from Zach Dupuis' point of view as he's chasing down Aaron Anderson.
Yeah, I am on board with Robbie Toddy, who is putting a lot of pressure on Levine as I see a car off. I believe that would be Rashkosh.
Here's something interesting.
What's going on?
Anderson and Dupuis are already catching more cars to pit on the last lap in the middle of this battle.
Oh no.
Sorry,
honestly,
you were talking about
I would let
Robbie
them
Todd?
buy. Let them buy because then you get to finish. You don't have to go for another lap.
Yeah, that's, I mean, that's
Exactly.
the absolute only move.
If they finish before you, you got to go again. And it looks as if they might be in a battle, whoever they are.
Yeah.
Maybe Sweeney Smith or Super Dave and Schmitzer.
Yeah. Well, real quick though, I want to give one last shout out to our final sponsor, Track Racer, for anything that you need regarding sim racing for rigs, along with flight simulator rigs. They are the go-to. They are partnered with us, so again, if you do happen to buy anything using our code that does help the league out, give them a check out at the Discord and website for, again, all of your sim racing needs when it comes to rigs.
Yeah, it should be at
and
least the first spot.
There's an Audi in the middle of the track there as Dupuis and Anderson are driving by. I believe that was Schmitzer, so yes.
Oh no!
Schmitzer and Super Dave were going to be battling, or were going to be blue flags for these two. But because of that, Dupuis is now 1 second behind Anderson because of the slowdown. Anderson seems to be slowing down. Are they teammates?
They are teammates. So are they going for the Schumacher?
It looks as if they're going for the photo finish here as we come
The
across
Schumacher
the line. They're side by
2004
side.
or 2005 Indianapolis photo finish.
Oh, yeah, they definitely are. They're lining up for it right now. Let me get a driver view of, I believe, who is our champion winner, Zach Dewey. Correct me if I'm wrong. As we come across
we'll have
the line
to look
here.
and double check, but I believe he is.
As we come across the line, Aaron Anderson first, Zach Dupuis in second. As you can see, I believe our championship leader, again, tentative.
Yeah, I will have to make sure that everything gets updated, but I believe they are, as well as the team. So we're gonna ask probably for a dual interview from both of them as we see Rec and then Fickert finish, and then
Robbie
Meeks?
Tutty and Levine still in a nice battle as we're coming onto the Wellington Straight right now. Robbie Tutty, of course, in an Aston, got a little bit more power than the BMW, and the BMW goes wide and gets into the paint. And on the side of Wellington Straight, Levine is going to be losing the spot to Robbie Tutty as we come into the last two corners here. Let's see if Levine's able to maybe fight back. Maybe Robbie Tutty will make a mistake. It doesn't seem to happen very often with him.
I'm just trying to catch everybody as they get through their last corner here to cross the line.
Robbie Tutty's going to take Levine on the last corner on the Wellington Straight for P8. Levine coming through for P9 of the last race this season, giving Tutty some flashes to let him know that was a great battle.
It was a fun battle to watch, as we also see Logan Schaefer
pulling in. Schaefer pulling in as our last of the top 10. Gino in 12th. Whitting Jr. coming across the line after his drive-through. I don't know if he was able to serve his stop go 30 though.
I don't think he will. That if he does not, that is a hefty penalty. I believe it is.
It's a 30-second penalty, isn't it?
No, I believe it's 130. 130.
Oh no. Well, we'll see where that puts him if it is that far. If it does, it might make him all the way down in like 17th or something.
Oh wait, no, it's 60. It's 130 if you do not do your pit. It's 60 for if you have a stop go 30. So we see
no matter what, it's not what you want to see.
Yeah, we see drivers doing donuts as it was the last race of the season. So good on them. Fantastic season from everybody. I will have to see if the drivers' standings updated. Do you want to message and see if we can get Anderson and Dupuis in here for a dual interview? Considering that
at the same time. That's what I'm talking about.
So.
All right, let's see here.
I got those two. You
got them?
Yes.
I'm just double checking to see if anything updated. It does not look like anything's updated at the moment, so maybe we'll see.
I believe that Dunham, because Whitting Jr. finished in 13th or wherever it was and has had a penalty now. Dunham is going to be our silver winner, but he is not here today. So I say that we talk to whoever was in second.
Well, I know Holmes won the silver split tonight, so maybe we also bring them up.
Yes, maybe we can do that.
I want to do a team interview.
Yes, let's get that team interview first.
At the same time.
Aaron Anderson said he is down. Zach Dupuis is also in. I'm going to move them into the cool down room. Let them speak about their winnings just then.
But yeah, like we were saying, a fantastic season, and it came down to a wire for a lot of these drivers. So overall, thoroughly enjoyed this season and a lot of the battles that we got to witness, especially the night.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
It appears that we are going to be calculating the standings. That our stewards and FIA type people are going to be working overtime right now. Their keyboards getting a great workout. Just checking and making sure there's a couple things going on. I guess penalties and stuff maybe being applied from this race to see where everyone ends up so far.
Yeah.
But while we're doing that, maybe we can start talking to Aaron Anderson and Zach Dupuis, our tentative driver champions.
Yeah, the team as well. So Dupuis would be the driver, and Dupuis and Anderson would be the team. I definitely think Dupuis took P1 with their finish, and then with Anderson and Dupuis finishing P1 and 2, definitely think that they took P1 for the team as well. So I would say it's a 99% on that one.
Maybe. We're going to find out, though.
So I pulled them in.
But let's go ahead and talk to him. And it's going to be Zach Dupuis and Aaron Anderson. Your 1-2 doing a Schumacher and Barrichello type finish here this week.
Yep. It was finally long overdue. We had a couple chances to do it, and I just kept dropping the ball. So finally able to get one done. I'm happy.
Yeah, and I believe
Always what you want to see.
that would also make you guys the team championship tonight, considering you guys got P1 and 2, and we're ahead
Let's
by
go!
33 points. So solid points for both of you and for your team. So excited to see the shoey in the off season from both of you.
Oh yeah.
And not
Oh,
only
here we
that,
go.
but Zach, and I am going to say your last name special one more time for the last time this season. Zach Dupe in the D3 championship.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Oh boy.
Funny,
I need to get you a new
all my-
microphone.
that.
all I heard was dupe. I didn't hear the wah.
Wah.
Like arguably the most important part of it. Like
Yeah.
just
Most
cut it
important
out.
part.
Like Jess said, we need to
Yeah.
get you a new microphone that doesn't clip out.
Yeah, give me some money first. How about that?
If we
Except
do, we
for
gotta
donate.
get your ears around here.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, you think I care about people's ears? That's funny.
Oh, easy. We should though.
But
So-
how are you guys feeling if that after that lap one interestingness is what I'll call it? Because I think that Aaron, you got a couple spots when that happened, did you not?
Yeah, I started third and I behind Rec and Zach, and I honestly like slow motion. I could just see Rec starting to spin. I'm like, wow, he's really far up on the curb. That's weird. And then he just started going around and kept going and going. I'm like, well, that was the main competition for the race. Just took himself out in 3 corners in, so it was pretty casual from there on out. Just trying to beat each other's hot laps, honestly.
I
Yeah, we
noticed
were-
that. You guys were going tit for tat for
Yeah.
fastest lap.
The real question, were you guys in a team comm going, I got you now?
a little bit.
Yeah, a little. It was a little.
We
bit. I
were
could
definitely
ask
team
him.
comms, and
Yeah.
he was catching me throughout the race, so that's why, having him driving the spray the whole race, he let him go around, then he started pulling away. He had the pace for sure.
Oh yeah, it was interesting to watch because I thought you guys might be battling on that last lap because you were getting really close to him at one point. I'm like, are they gonna possibly pull a Red Bull and take each other out? Sam Rec would love that, but
It was really nice for the shoe to be on the other foot for once this season. I just haven't quite had the pace or been able to put a race together to stick with Zach, or he just slowly started inching away. It was nice to finally get one and
Yeah,
drive like I
that's-
feel like I've been able to.
That's exactly what I was gonna mention a minute ago. Is it seems like Dupuis, not trying to segue this to split the team in any sort of way or whatsoever, but I've been seeing a lot of Dupuis and Anderson tonight. Your performance was fucking outstanding. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say the F word, but
Easy
it was
there.
amazing. It was
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was incredible. It was incredible. Did you feel like a pressure going throughout the season as far as trying to contribute to the overall team effort? Did it like build on you tonight? Like from
I'd
what I
say-
saw, it seemed like you're the type of person who plays better under pressure.
I would say I definitely do. But I wouldn't say there was too much pressure. I kind of knew like Zach for the most part always has Rec covered, and I knew I could cover Super Dave, so we would, no matter whether we're up front or not, we were gonna be able to cover the team championship. I knew I was out of it mathematically for any sort of drivers championship. So no, I was just glad to finally stay up front. Last week I was second,
Absolutely.
crashed out of it, and this week just kept it going straight and didn't have any mistakes.
Yeah, you laid down a hell of a show tonight. It was
I
real
appreciate
fun
it.
to watch.
really quick, our driver standings have updated. So Austin, if you want to show that off on our screen, Zach, you did take P1 by 53 points. And
Awesome.
y'all's team took P1 by 33.
Actually,
Let's go. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Aaron
I
coming through
don't
clutch
know
in the
if
final
they've
week.
been updated
Yeah.
through our.
They did.
Well, not through our website link. So they're still showing what they were
okay.
before.
Website, maybe not.
Yeah.
All right, so
But
next question.
Al
All
just
that
moved
said,
forward, so.
Aaron and Zach, do you have an idea for a shoey? Or are you guys going to collaborate after the fact?
We are the Naked Cowboys, so there will for sure be a cowboy boot used.
Oh boy, they're going for I
What do
believe
you think, Zach?
there was Austin something that also did a basically what's the boot the water shoe boot that everybody has.
Mm.
Muck boots. He did a muck boot one.
Oh, I could
So-
never. That's pushing a little far. I don't know where that's been.
He filled the thing to the
Disease.
brim. Apparently, he is a living legend in SRA.
Man, I might
happens.
have to take a few beers and fill mine up as well then.
Oh
my.
man,
That's the norm around here.
You guys
Good.
are getting some love right now in the chat for y'all's Naked Cowboys name and team. So great job this season to you guys.
Thank you.
no
Thank
doubt
you.
about it.
And if anyone's ever bored,
And he just completely died, but you
can you
know,
hear me?
I'm
There
sure
we
that
go.
was
Oh,
going
there you
somewhere.
are. All right, back. Yeah, let it go one more time.
Our team name is Start Your Systems. It's our friend who has a YouTube channel for we come from dirt bike simulator racing. So if anyone's interested in checking that out, look at Start Your Systems on YouTube.
I didn't even know that was even a thing. Dirt
They're
bike
actually
simulating?
racing. They're
Are you
racing right
serious?
now. They're racing right now.
Yo, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is actually pretty cool. I know that the MXBs they do have that every once in a while. But yeah, thanks again for your both of you guys. I know you guys had a fantastic season. Zach, I know we mentioned it before. You were on a tear the last 5 races. I know you had 4 out of the 5 last wins. And then Aaron, I know that you really brought it tonight and helped bring home the team championship for you guys. So congratulations and fantastic season from the both of you.
Yeah,
Thank you. And shout out to our coach, Ronnie Over. Hope his leg heals up soon and he can get back out in D1.
Yeah, no question.
All right, y'all. You guys have a great rest of your night and have a great off season.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Cool, thank you. Yep.
So the next person we're going to talk to, while he did not take the championship for Silver Division, he did come P2. It's going to be Chris Whitting Jr. And Chris, how are you feeling after that awful lap 1 incident, being able to fight your way back up into, I believe it was the top 15, and then getting that drive-through and stop-go at the very end, which was so unfortunate and so heartbreaking to see.
It's tough because I was talking to my teammate. So the person who was leading D3 Silver was going to miss this race. So we calculated that, including drop races and everything. If I had gotten top 10, I would have won D3 Silver. So qualifying P7, I was absolutely ecstatic. But then that lap 1 incident was just killer, man. It's tough because like I could have gone more on the grass to help try to avoid it, but then I'm risking spinning myself anyways. So it's brutal. But yeah, I think it was P3 at the time when I got drive through. Because I was stuck behind Holmes.
Oh, P3 Silver? I think so. Yes, you were.
Not P13 in the race, I mean.
Oh, yes. I believe it was something around that. You were stuck behind Holmes, and he was behind Osborne, yes. But then we saw you got that drive-through and instantly ducked into the pits to do it. And Austin saw you going a little bit too fast, which led to that stop-go, didn't it?
Yeah, it was like just mounting frustration because like I don't think I even would have gotten P10 had I not gotten the penalty. I just could not catch Holmes. I was like stuck behind him for like 5 laps. So like it's okay in the end, just because like it didn't net me anything. So, but yeah, it was just frustration.
It happens though, but we expect to see you here D3 most likely next season. So maybe you can be fighting for the top of the championship one more time.
I'd love it.
You could be around Chris next season. What if so? You sticking in the same car? Are you changing it up? What are you thinking?
I think I'll stick with it. The Aston's fast and it's stable. I was
very predictable.
doing practice and like the hot stint server and everything. I was a little bit faster in the Porsche, but I couldn't keep it on. There was no way I was keeping it on for a full 60 minutes. And my teammate really liked the Aston, so he convinced me, and I'm so happy for it.
Yeah,
because I definitely would have had way more incidents had I been in the Porsche. My buddies in D2 are struggling with it. Mr. Kish likes to complain about it a lot, so I don't think you'll see him in the Porsche next season.
Yeah,
I had some
anytime soon.
I had some insider knowledge though. I heard that he might have been in the chat with you tonight with Gino. Is that true?
After the race, yeah.
How was it having him basically be there with you guys throughout like all the races this season and kind of be like kind of like coach.
Oh, it's great. I call him my dad as a joke, but he's I actually met him doing F1. One of my close friends that I grew up with, we do like just a casual F1 league, and Bailey ended up joining. And he's a pretty chill dude. We liked him a lot, and so he recommended the whole SRA thing. So he convinced me to do it, and it's been a lot of fun since. A lot of fun with the teammates I had over the last couple seasons. I've even like done a different car in every season, which is exciting but struggling.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's
I think
like as soon as you get to grips with one, then it's like, all right, off to another, right?
Yeah, because like I'm just a very like easygoing guy. So like if my teammate really enjoys a car, then like I'll lick it, I'll learn it, I'll pick it up. Like I'm a pretty fast learner. I'll practice for like 30 minutes before every race. So like my flex.
Flex
I
right
was
there.
like, no, I was like, man, I'm sipping with this guy's pouring every step of the way here. He sounds like my kind of guy. And then he's like, oh, well, I only practiced 30 minutes beforehand. I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
nope,
like,
that's not me.
try to get the hour, but yeah, it's fun though because I'm busy, so it's tough to allocate all that time.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think I went Beamer in season 3 or 4. I think it was 4, and then the Lambo, which was a terrible car. Hated
Not a
that
fan,
thing.
huh? Not a
Hated
fan.
that thing, but my teammate Aiden Grover, he's a pretty fun guy, so I bit a bullet for him. But I convinced my teammate this season. He's new to SRA season, so
So you had the opportunity to finally pick one.
he actually picked it. Like I was
Someday you'll get your chance, man. I'm telling you.
Not even. I think I really do like the S, and I'm really glad he convinced me of it.
Yeah.
So I think it was the best for both of us. We had a pretty solid season as a team. I think we were like.
Yeah, you did. You really did well, man.
So. Hoping he's into gold next season.
Yeah, for sure.
You had a
I think
great
it's on the table.
Even though you did lose out by about, I believe it was 50 points, if not a little less, you had a great season though on D3 Silver.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
We loved seeing your constant good results to put you all the way up at the top of that standing.
Yeah, just super consistent, and that's something you like. I always tout is consistency. I see it all the time. You know, guys will put down a scorcher of a hot lap, but being able to do it door to door over the course of an hour, that's an entirely different story. It's an entirely different skill set. So yeah, you've shown,
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
You've shown that you got it. So that's impressive, man.
It's funny because my teammate is all about consistency too. If he likes to after the races really look at the stats, and one of the stats that you can get really to nitty gritty with is the consistency rating.
Yeah.
And there was one race we were both like I think 98.7% or something like that.
Nice.
So it's a lot of fun, but yeah, you see these people that can qualify really well, but they can't race, or like they just don't practice race pace or whatnot, or their racecraft is poor. But I feel like I'm the opposite. I feel like I can hold my own in a race, but my qualifying is hit or miss signs. It was pretty good today. But
For sure. Yeah, I'm the same way.
I like the rain because others don't.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. Well, it was lovely talking to you. We hope you have a great night and a great off season.
All right, man. See you guys. Thank you.
Take it easy, man.
Have a good night. Well, it was a wonderful season. I know that we did kind of tease the point standings, but I'm not seeing them update on my end. Unfortunately, I know that the team has said that it's updated, but it's just for some reason not updating on my end. But we did talk to the winners of the gold overall and team. So I think that was a good end of the season with everybody there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'll tell you what, that was a very exciting season to cast and to commentate on. There was a lot of action every race, and I couldn't have been more proud to do it with you guys.
I hope we can be a team next season too.
For sure. Got an absolute thriller.
Austin is shockingly silent. He's getting ready to leave us.
Oh God, no! I would never. I would never. The break is needed though, and
it is.
Yeah. I am looking forward to it.
I'm
will
gonna be like
honest
a
with
week
you.
and a half after this Hungary race on Saturday, which by the way, if you haven't signed up for it yet, go sign up for it. It's gonna be fun, 5 hours. But after the Hungary race, I'm gonna be taking about a week at least on just not doing any sort of driving at all. Just
Yeah.
done. Just
I
like, nope,
feel you
it's time
there.
for a break.
But
Yeah.
on that note, wonderful season. Started with a bang, ended with a bang. That was the GT3 Team Series race for D3 at Silverstone and the end of the season. Thank you to everybody that came out week in, week out, the admin team for all the work that you guys have done week in, week out, and the drivers, all the work that you've put in week in, week out, and adding all the entertainment while we add that little spice to everything. And to both of you, thank you for being in the booth with me this entire time.
Always
Yeah.
awesome. It's always very fun.
Absolutely. Honestly, couldn't have said it better. Couldn't have agreed more with everything you just said. 100%.
But on that note, thank you again from SRA. We will see everybody next season.
All right.
Peace out.
We'll see you later.